Welcome to day 2 of the Lumbridge Knights OSRS Leagues adventure. Stay tuned to see a summary of my progress on the tasks, fragments and quests I've completed so far, as well as my progress towards my first 99. So again, don't touch that dial, the one that doesn't exist and didn't exist last time, the same dial. So here I am, back in the RCS library, unlocking the enchanted jeweler fragment. I'm back here to finally finish off my grind. I was kind of level 60 last time, and now I'm grinding up to level 74. I gave up at level 74 because I was getting really bored of handing the books in, and I think it was slowing me down. So you can see that I'm still working towards that tier 4, and I decided to unlock Firemaking. This is, like I said last time, part of my stratagem to head to the Wintertodt. Like I do with all my characters, if you've noticed on my channel, it's all about the Wintertodt. Why? Because I know how to do it and it's easy. No, I'm choosing Wintertodt because I think it will get me some money and a 99 very quickly. Having unlocked Firemaking, I unlocked woodcutting last time. I then headed to Lumbridge because where else is better to cut wood than Lumbridge? I then entered Draenor Manor. You get 5 points just getting in there, and then I decided to complete the Ernest the Chicken quest. It's not a task, don't bother because you're going to get 300 coins, waste of time. I then made possibly one of my biggest mistakes. To get the experience from the Sheep Shearer quest, I unlocked the crafting skill. This cost me 30 points at a time when points were probably an absolute premium, and I did it for some pretty rubbish XP. And you'll see later on in the other videos, it's a long time before I actually significantly bothered to actually craft stuff. Part of my logic, you'll see in a bit, was because I had a clue scroll which had a crafting component, but really, was it worth it? Should I just bin the clue scroll? Because I've ended up with a bank full of clue scrolls. You'll see in later videos the amount of clue scrolls I get ridiculous. Not sure. Anyway, so I've done it, so I may as well hand it in. Sheep Shearer, done. Next, little tip just to swing back to one of my first ever videos. Everyone forgets about the milking cow. So when you're doing Cook's Assistant, remember there's a milking cow right behind the windmill. Hand in Cook's Assistant, remember the milk. I forgot that last time. And then when you've done that, go get some food, any food, and cook it on the Lumbridge Castle hob for another 5 points. Now, this was to do some crafting experiences. I unlocked it. I did do a little bit of crafting. You can see I then unlocked the Unholy Warrior and the Trailblazer set effect, which is sick. It's a game changer. I think, arguably, I'm 6-7 days in. It's actually the best thing going in terms of like time saved. The portable Waystone I've just picked up there is unbelievable. It saves so much time, and thankfully in my case it makes up for the fact that I've done things very scattergun. I've kind of just gone for it and hoped for the best. Basically all it does is give you a portable Waystone around your neck that you can pretty much use at any time as long as you've got 3 fragments with the Trailblazer effect as part of their passive effects. The mistake is that, as you can see when I click, I need to redo my fragment, but once I set my fragments up, you'll see that you can actually teleport from anywhere with the portable Waystone. So even places you've never been, you can teleport as long as that chain is unlocked. Caniphus and the elf place that I'm not even going to try to pronounce at the moment. You can't go until you've kind of unlocked the quests that get you access to those places. You can unlock, I think, both of them in the unlocks as well, if you so desire. As I say at the moment, I've been playing it coy, trying not to spend all my points, because points at this moment are a premium for me. So yeah, there we go. I've activated my first effect, which is a task, didn't know. And now I can teleport, as you can see, to anywhere on the map. And it doesn't matter if you've been there or not, which is the mistake I made because I went around and manually activated all the Waystones. Woo! Here we go. Let's unlock another Waystone. Which would have been useful if I didn't get this, but the fact that I've got this now means that I can go around and just manually unlock them anyway, which will be useful if I ever forget to activate the Trailblazer effect, so I recommend that you do that as well. What have we got on the cards now I've activated Relica? Complete Misfile and Mystery. It's not a task, so please feel free to skip that if you're following along. I did this for the crafting XP. This got me up to a level high enough to craft leather chaps, which as you'll see shortly, I needed for a clue scroll. And it also happens that tanning a piece of leather in Alcarid is a task as well. So yeah, hand in my chaps to Charlie Letramp. He gives me another one to go visit Hans. So I went to see Hans at Lumbridge. He's the guy who tells you how old you are. He gave me another clue to speak to the apothecary. And just so happened that while I was in Varrock, I started the Romeo and Juliet quest anyway, so speaking to the apothecary was on my way. I got my cadaver potion and picked up my first casket, which I'm going to open in a second. Don't get excited because the drop was garbage. And then I handed in Romeo and Juliet. You can see I got some steel legs and a willow shortbow. Lovely. But I got 5 points for Romeo and Juliet. I then cut a tree with a steel axe. That's a task. And then I whittled the logs into arrow shafts. That is also a task. I was just trying to finish off these basic tasks, as was part of my brief last time. I also noticed that Gertrude's cat was a quest. Smashed that one off. Turning some logs into a plank for 100 GP is also a task. Probably best doing that on the quest. You can see I kind of missed it till after. Then I decided to catch up on a little bit of fishing. I reached 250 total level at this point, and I also fished a heron, which scored me another 2 beginner tasks for a grand total of 10 points. And then I went up to visit the Tree Gnome Stronghold, another beginner task, and while I was here, I went and did a lap of the agility course. Boom. Simple. Didn't get any experience though because I haven't unlocked agility. I'm still being really cagey, I'm not sure what to unlock. At this point, other than going to Wintertodt, I haven't really worked out a grander strategy. I then raked a farming patch. You just buy a rake for like 20 coins or something. Then headed to Wizard's Tower, killed a wizard. Literally first drop, got some blue wizard robes, very happy with that. Banged that on, another beginner task done. Moving on. You can see I'm going quite rapid. It's because there's a lot to get through and I've got a lot of editing to do and I'm trying to get to the more interesting stuff that happened later on. So here we go. Monk's Friend quest. Done. I could go into my shorts. Have you ever seen any of my shorts, guys? I could do my really bad Chef Ramsay impression or Gordon Ramsay if you're in the UK. So, Monk's Friend. Done. Anyhow, moving on. Rumpel bowstring unlocked when I did some crafting. And then I went back to the Ferox Enclave. Remember in the last video I said if you buy a beer, it's a task. Boom. There's the task to prove it, and let's drink the beer, why not? From here, head to Death's Domain, just by walking in. 5 points, easy task. Done. Adios, death. And then, finally, something I should have done on day 1, 5 seconds in, get stung by some bees. I don't want any wax, just sting me. Stung. Boom. Come on, sting me. Sting me. Ouch. Stung. From here, blast on over to the wheat fields. Couldn't be easier, come on. Move, 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 run, run, run. And just pick some wheat. Oops, another 5 points. These ones I should have picked up on day 1, and if anyone's watching, I suggest you kind of look through in order. I was in the area, so I decided to accept the Tree Gnome Village quest, knowing that possibly later on I'll need the Tree Spirit Network, so I may as well do it. And I just couldn't be bothered going through that maze multiple times, because once you get to the middle once and accept the quest, Alcohol will guide you in and out for free. Then I decided to do Druidic Ritual quest, because it's generally seen as a prep step for Wintertodt, and although I've got no plans to unlock the Herb Lore skill at the moment, the XP you get from Wintertodd's negligible anyway. It's just useful to be able to make rejuvenation potions, because a lot of people don't bother, and I want to be prepared so that if I have to solo it, I can, and you definitely cannot solo Wintertodt if you can't make rejuvenation potions, so it makes sense. And if you're in the neighbourhood, you may as well visit the Taverley dungeon for another easy 5 points. From there, I went over to Curend. I was literally going through the beginner list in order, just getting things off. Take the boat to Mlotch Island, 5 points. Just get the boat straight back, it's free. And then this one's a bit of a bugger, so you might want to be careful on this. Make sure you got plenty of food, probably some anti-poison, which I didn't bring. It was a little bit hairy at times, more so with the lizardmen. Once you get past them, it was plain sailing. But yeah, then you just need to use the bank, and that gets you a task for banking at Mount Quadermorton. Quadermorton. I love the names in Escape. I always say that in my videos. Don't you just love it? I can never pronounce them. Please like the video and support my content. Thank you, noble knight. Okay, then I headed back to Catherby and just traded with one of the trader crew members, another easy 5 points. As you can see, I'm still poisoned. Yeah, then go get a poison chalice from your friendly dwarf Stankers and just drink it. Didn't do anything too bad. I drank the poison chalice. It actually healed me. Look at that. 5 points. Boom. Next. You then need to find Vinaka, the Slayermaster, in Edgeville Dungeon. I think that's how you say his name, Vinaka. And that's another beginner task. Following that, I just made some runes. Again, I haven't unlocked rune crafting, so I lost the experience, but it wasn't much, and you got easy task for that. You get 2 tasks actually, because it's craft any rune and then craft an air rune, so both those are tasks. There's also tasks for unlocking the other runes, but you need to unlock rune crafting to do that. I then burnt 100 willow logs. I burnt probably more than that, but this was to get my firemaking ready, which boom, you can just see is pinged at 50 firemaking. This means I'm now ready to go enter the Wintertodt prison. But before that, I need my 4 items of warm clothing, so I opted for the very easy to obtain Clue Hunter outfit. I got the boots, the gloves, the cloak and top, all of which are very easy to find. In fact, I'll put a little guide on the screen there of how to do it. And then I finished Druidic Ritual off. Boom, here I am, ready to unlock Wintertodt. So here we go, 20 points, I believe it was. 20 points to unlock the Wintertodt. And Operation Firemaking to 99 has begun. Generally speaking, Wintertodt was pretty useful. There's a lot of tasks associated with getting a skill to 99, boosts your overall level. There's tasks for easy, medium and hard combat achievements, which you can see dropping on the screen now. Because it's a skill-based boss, and you're doing a lot of woodcutting and firemaking, you get a lot of fragments. So there's me unlocking the slash and burn one. The slash and burn's quite useful. Unfortunately, it doesn't work at Wintertodt, which is really annoying. You also get a lot of experience-based fragments, so that's just fragments that just give you experience instead of a new ability. And yeah, I didn't bother showing them because you kind of got a lot, and there's really not a lot to like highlight on them other than boosting the experience up and leveling your fragments. There's a medium or 25-point task for 1 Wintertodt kill. You'll just see shortly here the tasks drop for 1 hard combat achievement and 1 medium combat achievement. And this goes first up. I did the Y Fletch task, which is get 3,000 points at Wintertodt. It's honestly very easy to do. Again, I'll put a guide up on the screen there if you're not sure how to solo or you're not sure about Wintertodt. Just follow it, it's got everything in, skip to the appropriate bit, it's fine. Then I decided to unlock the crate. This is the first crate I got. I think it was like maybe like a 10-roll crate, and it had NAF all in. That's why I didn't show it actually. Then I unlocked Message in a Bottle, very useful because it increases the drop rate of clue scrolls, and Hot on the Trail increases the drop rate of clue scrolls for firemaking in particular. I'll show you how many I got at the end in later videos, but hard clue scrolls dropped in the masses on Wintertodt, so it was well worth equipping that. I'll probably show you it now. So the build I went with, I turned Trailblazer off because it's not doing anything. I think I went with all the ones that give me clue scrolls, and I did put Slash and Burn on, hoping that would work, but it didn't. So yeah, Slash and Burn doesn't work at Wintertodt. It works outside of Wintertodt, so you'll see in a later video, I've got some tips on like how to AFK effectively and what to put on while you're trying to AFK. But at Wintertodt, Slash and Burn doesn't do anything. Oh, Home Wrecker, really good one as well. Again, not useful at Wintertodt, but that means anytime you get a bird's nest, it automatically banks it. It's absolutely awesome. And then I banked a few drops, so he's like the best set of drops I got. I managed to get the Torch and Pyromancer Garb off my first like 10 Wintertodt crates. I was really praying the rest of the Pyromancer suit to drop before I got to 99. You'll have to wait and see in later videos if that happened or not, because it's at least worth 50 because it's a hard or a higher task. So it's worthwhile. You'll have to wait and see if that happened. Yeah, then I decided to get the 10,000 coins, because I mean the whole point of going to Wintertodt was to get some money. So 10,000 at the Stronghold of Security is a piece of cake. And it's also a task to get the fancy or fighting boots. Boom, as you can see there, got them. I then decided to buy a house and then immediately afterwards do Daddy's Home, which doesn't make sense because I didn't need to do that, because if you do Daddy's Home, it purchases the house for you. So I paid 1,000 coins and then got my 1,000 coins back because I did Daddy's Home after. I did that because I wanted the construction boost. Now, I don't think it's popped up on the screen, but obviously before I did this, I unlocked the construction skill because I wanted the extra levels while I was at Wintertodt. I then stole from a silk stall just because I was passing it on my way to the Wintertodt at that particular time. It's probably out of sync, that video, actually. Didn't really make sense, did it? Because I just appeared in Alcrate. But that's why I've got the Trailblazer amulet. Boom! It doesn't matter. Quick teleports, baby. Okay, cut a cactus. Just make sure you got a knife and run it in the desert. You can see I overdid it on the water. Don't really need that many water skins. And you're best off doing that on your way to the Calphite lair. You don't really need to bring a rope, although sometimes maybe you do. I didn't. Anyhow, head down the lair, and that's another easy 5 points. I must have pretty much wrapped up most of the beginner tasks by now. This is what I was doing. Oh yeah, banking Nadar, another 5 points. It didn't pop up on the screen. These are kind of like all different tiers, but basically it goes up to about 50k or more. Just move your house to all the different possible locations, and it gets you 3 points. Probably costs you like 150k, but it takes seconds. I then decided to use one of my house teleports to go to my house. Another 5 points, easy. And then you just need to build, I think it's any room. Just build any room in your house, and you get, I think, another 5 points. once I finished faffing about with the orientation of a room in a house that I'm never going to use, yeah, get your own head around that. I don't know what I was thinking at the time, but yeah, let's get it. You want the fire opposite the door, right? I don't know. Okay, now this is a really cool one. I unlocked the last recall set effect and the crystal memoir from the sage. I've not actually managed to use it yet because you need enough fragments with that ability. That's probably the second best one you can get at the moment in terms of like items. It remembers where you teleported from and allows you to teleport back to that point. So for skilling, it is unbelievably useful. But yeah, since I haven't actually got to use it yet, you'll just have to keep watching future videos for future updates, and I will let you know what I think of it when I've actually got to use it. Okay, then I managed to get Hot on the Trail to level 3. That's the one that makes clue scrolls drop from Firemaking, which you get a shed load at Wintertodt. And then I managed to unlock the Pro Tips fragment. This was on my run to 99. You can see a couple of the boys there with us. Shout out to Tyrone and Ryan, who have been playing Leagues with me the whole time. Unlocked another fragment there. Rogue's Chompy, is that? If I said that the right way around. And you can see I'm about 500 points off tier 4 at this point. We all thought we were doing really well, but at the end of this day, I think we were in for a big surprise. But I'll get onto that in the next video. So, a final flurry of 50 points for burning some magic logs. Because my woodcutting was high enough from the Wintertodt, I got a few given drops. And for the last update, here I'm at 95. I'm very close to my first Leagues 99. So this is Lumbridge Knight saying peace out, guys, and stay tuned for the next update, which again will be launching imminently.